So today we're going to do more of the typical show, but I'm compelled to answer all the public record allegations against me, as I always have, as I always will. And yesterday we went after the arrest affidavit. We tackled that. And today the play that's called is the divorce allegation. So we're going to go through that. And then look at this. We're about to tease. Also, we got a Draymond Green going at Stephen A. Smith. So we got that. Shannon Sharpe, Shakur Stevenson, all the things. So want to get into all those things. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a member. My grandmother told me, my grandmama Deal, the same one who helped cure me to play football when I was young, she said, baby, never let them steal your joy. So I just want you guys to understand how much you mean in this moment, just to rock with me, just to be curious, just to be doubtful, just to be here. I don't give a damn why you're still here. I do love doing what I do, and that's why I'm up 5 in the morning, always have been, always will, communicating the message to you guys of what I see in sports media, and the life lessons that we all can learn together. At the same time, don't get it twisted. I'm over here hurting. Don't get it twisted. I miss my itty bitties. Don't get it twisted that I'm not in that space. At the same time, I know that I have to get back to norm. I know I got to keep it going. You know, one thing we always talk about is how the clock don't stop. You know, the clock don't care how you feel. Second go by, second go by, second go by. So I got to make sure I say all these things. All right, enough of the preaching, damn it, Wiley. We know the show is coming. Talk about it, get to it, get through it. The divorce allegations. So obviously, you guys know what happened last weekend, and it all happened in the whirlwind. Things are fine. Things are going along to the norm, that our new norm we were trying to create. Then next thing you know, arrested and then divorce, all within 24, 48 hours, all the things. So now let's get into what those things are. As I'm learning this new equipment over here. It's really not new equipment, just a new setup. Let's get into it, Wiley, shall we? Yeah, we shall. So I got to borrow this from, his name is Jason, Jason, yeah. This guy got a channel, and we're going to see it right here. Y'all check it out. Okay, I love it. This video he did, Big Tigger and Marcellus Wiley ignored the signs, insane. Insane. Like no video I've seen yet from Acho, Whitlock, JB, DL Hughley, obviously, none of them nailed it. But they get so close, and it's good to see that people are picking up the facts of the matter. But this video right here really went there because he actually was preemptive. He was like, Marcellus, if you would have been watching my channel or videos, you may have seen this coming in some way. So respect to him. I'm not the one who sits here, act like I know all things. So great video. You guys check it out, but I'm about to just use him. I owe you some money, big dog. Can't even lie. I owe you some money because I couldn't find this online. Maybe I'm too old. I ain't one of those Gen Zers. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I couldn't find it, but you did. So let's go through it, and we're going to use your video for it. All right, so here we go. We're about to read through this. You got to deal with that little radio down there. Other than that, it's all good. All right, perfect. Let's do this. Declaration of Annemarie Wiley. All right. I am the petitioner in the within action. I submit this declaration in support of request for domestic violence restraining order. I'm going to skip over some words because hopefully I don't get shut down. I don't know what's sensitive or not. In lieu of oral testimony pursuant to Code of Civil Procedure. All right, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna bore y'all. All right, the following information is true of my own personal knowledge, and if called as a witness, I could and would testify competently thereto. Each exhibit attached hereto and referred to herein is hereby. God dang, they used to write crazy back in the day. Incorporated by reference. Oh, that's old English. Okay, let me just say this, and I want to preface everything we're gonna hear. Obviously, it's gonna be inflammatory. Obviously, it's gonna be crazy. I was blindsided by this. This came to me in the public sphere. Trust me, the stuff that's going to be alleged in here, I had knowledge of, seen, I've been married to her since 2014. So some of this stuff is just okay, duh, fact of the matter. A lot of this is her saying things and alleging things. But remember, I don't want to deal with any of this. I don't, because I don't deal with my dirty laundry business, whatever's happening in our real world in public light. I'm not that vain. I'm not that person. So I'm responding to only public record. And this could be my last video on the family and all the stuff that's happening. We'll see how the proceedings go. I don't need to respond and am compelled by the audience. I love y'all, but I ain't got to tell y'all everything going on, right? But I'm always going to keep it real if I do. So just letting you guys know, I'm taking no pleasure in doing this. But since it's already out there, I'm going to respond to it. And more importantly, since it's already out there, all I'm going to do is read it and highlight some things so I won't get myself in trouble or my itty bitties. Okay. I am married to respondent Marcellus Wiley, and we are the parents of 3 minor children together. Our son, Marcellus Wiley Jr., who is 10 years old, our daughters, Ryan Jane Wiley, Olivia Marie Wiley. This is all public record. All right. Throughout our relationship, Marcellus has subjected me to a continuing and escalating pattern of physical violence, sexual abuse, verbal and emotional abuse, financial control, and intimidation, much of which our children have witnessed. Because of the trauma associated with many of these events, there are gaps in my memory. Interesting. As I have blocked out much of what Marcellus has done to me. Okay. I set forth below the most recent incident of abuse, followed by the history of abuse as I am able to recall it. Okay. Look, I'm not here to give y'all color. I told you yesterday, I'm going to tell you again today. I'm not here to break this down like normal because this is a proceeding that has to go forward. But at the same time, I'm going to highlight things that you need to just think about and say, does it add up? I think a lot of times in this, you're going to see 2 + 2 is something between 3 and 5, but it's certainly not 4. Okay. So in that paragraph right there, I think that's the best way to do it. Do these paragraph by paragraph. The thing that sticks out is the continuing and escalating. So continuing, escalating. Just remember that. We'll get to that. All right. Recent abuse. Interesting. We start off with the recent. Okay. I'm currently attending my son's basketball tournament. I'm trying to keep it going. In Orlando, Florida. Marcellus and our 3 children and I shared a room at the hotel. On July 3rd, 2026, Marcellus yelled at me and forcefully jammed his finger into my face while I was lying in bed with our 7-year-old daughter. Okay. He told me that I caused him to treat me badly and that I bring it on myself. He said this in her presence. Okay. Now, what's interesting about this part right here, I find, is that it's a little different than what was said in the police report. One said you were sitting on the bed and now you're lying in the bed with the daughter. So obviously she's the witness, the same witness who said she didn't see anything, but she's there. So just little things like that, just want to highlight. Okay. Now, let's go on. On July 4th, 2026, Marcellus told me that he was going to start, in his own words, playing football, not basketball with me, and warned me to watch how bad he was going to make things for me, which I understood to be a threat that his abuse would become more severe. During this same incident, Marcellus pushed our 10-year-old son, Marcellus Jr. I called the police. I made a report to the police, a true and correct copy of the no contact order I received. Okay. What's interesting about this is playing football, not basketball, is in quotes and nothing else is. So you're saying that those 4 words made you think all the rest of those things. Just keep with me. And also what's interesting is the fact that now we hear MJ, Marcellus Jr. is in this conversation and part of this incident. When to the police, you said the day before or whenever you said it, this was filed the day after, so you figure that out. You said made no mention of Marcellus Jr. So police there's an incident. You're talking about that incident right now, and you make no mention of Marcellus Jr. to the police in that moment. But now to have your lawsuit or your divorce allegations, enter the picture MJ. Just catch those little things, y'all. All right, continue. And yes, this is under the advice of a lawyer, my lawyer. I saw one report, or some of you guys out there, side note, talking about Marcellus. You had a public defender for your arrest. Yes, I did. I have 3 lawyers on call for cases and things of that nature. But I used a public defender. You want to know why? Those court cases in jail, I got arrested Saturday. They had a Sunday court. Initially, I thought I was going to be there to Monday. Those court cases in jail, they last, if this, a minute. You go in there, they say this stuff, they say it, here's bond, go. So my bond initially was $500, not $1,000 as reported. It was $500 because I lived out of state. It was $1,000. Let's just say my lawyers cost more than the bond. I was like, nah. So, but I do have my lawyers on the case now. So, just to clarify things. And I look forward to when all this is behind me, so I can really just say, look, let me clear all the things up, because everybody's trying to figure it out. Respectfully, I understand. I've seen some of the videos. You guys doing a great job of picking it up. Some people aren't. It is what it is. I shouldn't be in this position, so I'm not going to be the one who's going to be hypercritical of all those things. And basically, I'm a big boy, so you can talk good about me, talk bad about me. As y'all know, every arena I've ever been in, I get cheered and I get booed. We all do, right? So it is what it is. But okay, let's continue. Oh, God. Don't do that. Did he go somewhere? So I'm trying to prepare it. We are now. You got to go to the next page. Go to the next page, big dog. Here we go. He's about to do it. Yes. From the sheriff's department, it is attached as Exhibit A. Marcellus was arrested, and I understand was released on Sunday, July 5th, 2026 on $1,000 bond. Yep. After being released, he came to our son's game. Yes, I told you guys I went to all the games. Thankfully, the judge granted that, because I'm like, I'm in Orlando for one reason. And so can I still go to the games? And she's like, absolutely. I am very much afraid of him and request a restraining order requiring Marcellus to stay away from me and our children, and that he be ordered to move out of our home. I also request sole legal and physical custody of our children with no visits to him pending a hearing. Okay. What do you say to that? You just, all right, that's what she wants. A lot different than the norm. Let's just say that. A lot different than it was before this trip. History of abuse. In or about 2012, Marcellus, me, while I was intoxicated. During this same period, he threw a food tray at my head with such force that it dented the wall. Also in or about 2012. Notice the ends or abouts, because you're going to see a big change in that, okay? I'm only highlighting technical things. I'm not going deep with color, context, anything. I'm just going to give you guys surface level, right? But highlights. Marcellus attempted to have with 2 of my friends in the basement of our home, crawling into bed with them in the middle of the night. In or about again, 2014, while we were staying in a hotel room in Las Vegas, Nevada, Marcellus punched me in the face, giving me a black eye and a split lip. Okay. Only thing about this I can say, frankly, is 2014 is when we got married. So these things sound like at least one for sure, maybe 2 happened before marriage. Continue. In or about 2019, when I was 9 months pregnant with Araya, Marcellus threw a full Coke bottle of Coca-Cola at my head. Marcellus's godmother, Jackie Blackett, was present and witnessed this incident. On August 18th, 2025, while I was in or about Christmas 2021, Marcellus broke my right thumb. Our children witnessed and were crying. Okay, what's interesting about this, I don't know what that line means. On August 18, 2025, and then it's 2021. Okay, you guys, I can't go there. I can't do that. And to be frank, because I still got pending litigation in this, and I also got the criminal suit. You got to take it you got to take your third eye and use it for itself. Then we'll connect our third eyes at a later date. On or about August 18, 2025, while I was in our closet, Marcellus pushed me, shoved me, and struck me in the face with his shoes. He then pushed me to the ground, forcefully held me down, and would not let me leave the room. When I was finally able to run out of the room toward the garage door to leave, I saw that our children had heard everything and were crying and screaming. Please don't leave us, Mom. Respondent told them that I wanted to leave them, blaming my attempt to flee for my safety on me. Our children then sat with me on the couch hysterical while Marcel stood over us and said, see, look what I'll do if you try to go. On January, nothing here, guys. On January 11, 2026, at approximately 2 a.m., Marcellus dragged me out of bed, berated me, and hit me on the head. He then, me telling me that I was his property and that I had to do what he said. At approximately 3 a.m. that same night, Marcellus, me again. On January 13th, 2 days later, at approximately 3 a.m. You notice now we're getting dates on. All I can say to that is, oh, okay, since it's on that date, let's see how that day looked. Let's see how that day played out. Let's see what the messages are of that day, the texts of that day, the calls of that day, the actions of that day, the videos of that day, etc. Because if not, everything just stays she say, he say. And from knowing me and knowing this show, you guys know we always start with the evidence, the fact of what you said, what you did, more so than just what we think. So this is when it's going to get very interesting going forward, because we now have exact dates on top of exact circumstances. Circumstances before, on or about the date didn't matter. It's just what you said. Now it's getting a little deeper, just to give you guys a heads up. Marcellus dragged me out of bed, threw me down on the bed, and shoved me. He berated me and then me. On January 14th, 2026, Marcellus admitted to me that he had been tracking my phone calls. He yelled at me for having spoken to an attorney and chased me up the stairs. He yelled at me in front of our 10-year-old son, who was crying, scared, and upset. Marcellus would not let me leave the house and repeatedly blocked my exit. On January 15th, man, so you notice now on the intensity, January 11th, 13th, 14th, 15th, right? This big paper, this big document is really starting to get narrow around those dates, FYI. Remember that going forward. Marcellus posted a taunting message on Instagram about why women keep male friends and tag both me and another woman in the post. Okay. So there's going to be record of that. Taunting, huh? All right. On January 31st, Marcellus yelled at me and berated me outside our home. Our children witnessed this and were crying, and our daughters asked me why their father is always yelling at me. Gotcha. On February 1st, 2026, Marcellus again yelled at me and berated me outside our home. Our children witnessed this, were crying, and asked why we always fight. Okay. On or about February 21st, Marcellus stopped paying our children's private school tuition, which forced me to empty our children's savings accounts in order to pay it. When I told Marcellus that I had paid the tuition, he told me that I needed to start paying 50% of all of the bills if I wanted to live like a roommate rather than his wife. I began to cry, and our children witnessed this and asked why their father always makes me cry. Okay, the only thing I would say about this one, number 15, is check the pronouns. Check the pronouns. It goes from I to me to our to we. Like, check the pronouns in there. I can't go any deeper. Number 16, in marriage, one thing about marriage, assets and liabilities you share, especially in California, community property state. And California is none of that mine. It's like, nah, y'all's. Everything in California, day of marriage, date of separation, y'all's. Like, and it's a no-fault state, which means I don't want to hear how you got here. They don't care. I'm giving you all public record things. See, this is how some people are critical, like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because it's already been done to me. What are you talking about? I'm not giving you guys new information. I'm reading this information. But more importantly, I also got to highlight some of the things that are technical in here that can be illuminating. Let's just say that. On On April 26, 2026, Marcellus drove while intoxicated and recklessly with me in the car. He swerved on the freeway to frighten me and threatened to drive into the median or a wall. He fell asleep while driving, and then when I asked him to wake up or to let me drive instead, he yelled at me. On about May 8th, Marcellus hid my passport and my citizenship documentation. I am asking that he returns them to me immediately. Okay. What I can say about that is a trip to Nigeria occurs right after this. The same trip that Acho, you got to go check out a video Acho did on Nigeria. I think it's called like, I Got the Video. Check out Emmanuel Acho, I Got the Video. And then you're going to be like, oh, Annemarie, stop playing. But more importantly, that trip happened after May 8th. So I don't know what to take from this. On June 26th, oh, whoa, what just happened here? On June 26th, Marcellus threw objects at me at our closet out of anger. On June 30th, Marcellus yelled at me and repeatedly lunged towards me, threatening to hit me in the face. The events of the July 4th weekend are discussed above. So chronological order we get back to right now. Number 20. Throughout our relationship, Marcellus has exercised financial control over me. He borrowed approximately $100,000 from me and ran up approximately $100,000 in charges on y'all know what I'm about to say, so I'm going to say it anyway. Look at the pronouns, look at the word choice, right? In a marriage, you're hearing the my's, you're hearing mine. And I wish I can explain it fully, but that's what mediation and courts are for, right? And she'll hear this and I'll hear hers. But right now, just you guys, mine, yours, marriage, California, no fault, community property, assets and liabilities. All right. Credit cards and then stop paying them, which ruined my credit. He told me that this was my fault by ceasing to pay our children's, oh, now we have partnership again, children's tuition earlier this year and forcing me to pay it. Marcellus has prevented me from using my own earnings to save money. Once again, that sentence started off with our children's, and then there's a lot of my's and me, to pay down the debt he accumulated on my credit cards or to repair the credit he damaged. Understood. 21, let's get to it. 21. Marcellus told me he hired a person he described as a forensic specialist to access the contents of my cell phone. And he now has access to all of my calls, text messages, photographs, WhatsApp messages, and other communications. For my own safety and security, I have had to obtain a second phone and a second phone line. Oh, so a second phone line justified by there's a forensic specialist on your first phone. The liberty to say if there's a forensic specialist that can access one phone, I think he can access two phones. Some things just tell on themselves, guys. You guys follow me. Pick up what's being put down. Oh, whoa, chill, dog. Oh, I got to tell you about the mugshot. I tried to smile, and they kept taking it. That was like the 15th one. She kept saying, you can't smile. I was like, I'm not trying to smile. What are you talking about? And she was like, just bring it down. So that's why you see a little smirk. It was like me trying to bring it down. I'm going from this to really like that. Anyway, and for people like, oh, your eyes are red. My eyes always red. It's a Wiley thing. It's actually a Landers thing. My family got some dark people with liquor store eyes, as they say. Them dark eyes and red eyes. So I hear y'all. I hear all the jokes. That was funny. Yeah, I think we're done. Well, I think we're done. At least we're done with the video part of it. Let me see if I can read some more of this. Let me see if I can read some more of this right here. Okay. Good. All right, big dog. Well. So now, in this position, where do we stop? The nerd in me is coming out. Obviously, I'm fighting for my itty bitties. And really the freedom, like, my freedom was taken away. Obviously, that box was checked. I had to go to jail over some of these things that off of first read, you can all tell doesn't add up. But more importantly, going forward, my freedoms of seeing my family, my kids at liberty. That's what I'm fighting for. Yeah, this other part, I don't see it on his video, so I got to read it. 22. Marcellus subjects me to constant criticism, cruel and sarcastic remarks, and intimidation. His verbal and emotional abuse is constant, and his physical abuse occurs approximately once a month, and at times more frequently. Okay. I'm afraid of Marcellus, and I fear for my own safety and for the safety of our children. All right, that's it. Okay, everybody here, let's go. What to take from this and what's going on is I'm not getting distracted by this whole smoke, everything that's going on. It's so crazy to me that I am now in more publications, news sites, websites, commentary than ever before in my life. And it sucks, not because of just what they're saying and what they're reporting. It sucks because if you juxtapose this to all the things that I've done in my life that are positive, that are good, that are of achievement, that are of accolade, it doesn't get you as much attention as negativity. And the reason I bring that up is not to say, oh, poor me. It's because that's the world we live in. It's so charged up that anybody and everybody knows you walking around with like, look, if I could say something negative about you, pow, right? Pow. And it's weird. I'm looking like I'm bigger than ever. And I'm like, for what? So it's the world of famous versus infamous, right? Fame versus infamy. And this is the same thing we always talk about with like Oscar de la Hoya, the golden boy, all that good stuff, all that good. And then Floyd was pretty boy. But then when he became money made and he became polarizing and he became quote unquote the polarity of it and the negativity of oh you trolling, oh you're flashy, and people started hating him. That's what made him even bigger than Oscar de la Hoya. It's crazy. Like, I mean, other than he was better, but I'm talking about like the PR of it. It's weird. You could be amazing at something, but if somebody has amazing and like controversy, oh my God, it's next level. And trust me, this is not by design, not something I desire. So it's weird. It's how games go. Definitely not playing victim, definitely not wanting your sympathy in that respect. I just want you to have the clarity of the dynamics at play. Simple as that. All right, now here we go. Here we go. I want to actually do a show, like do our regular show. Y'all beat up in the comments. I know you guys will. You'll take from that what you want. Just notice what was said there. I think the highlights were there was no MJ in the police report, and now there's MJ in terms of what she's saying. Also, the contradictions of where she was, the contradictions of the witness, my daughter, saying nothing happened, and a lot of the pronoun choices that sounded like they were about her more than we or us. All that. Okay, now let's get into this. I am going to do it, and I'm going to do it right. I want to see this. Draymond. No, let's start with Shannon. Start with Shannon Sharpe. No, I forgot. I got to put this video on here. Okay, this is the last part of it. This is the last part. Between these incidents, this was shown. So between July 3rd, alleged incident, and July 4th, the arrest. So saying that I poked her in the face, but also saying later I said I was going to hurt her. This is what she was doing and posting, and this is her life. Okay. Just to highlight that. and just to show there was actually, obviously, as you know, there's more. All right, let's move on. Hopefully, all right, this is it for the videos on the family stuff. I'm done with it until I can talk about it or some more breaking news. If it's not a public record, I'm not coming here to talk about it because one, it's yucky talking about your family like this just to get your name back or to get clarity. I hate that. I hate it. I'd rather y'all think I ain't shit than me up here talking about my family's business. I really do. And I was going to be that way. I don't care. But now, because it's out there, this is how I make a living. This is something I love to do. And then my kids are going to hear one side. My kids, if Extra and Access Hollywood or whoever the hell, and TMZ is reporting this. And that's my family and my kids and my friends are like, yo. It's a new day. It's a new day. You can't sit back there and let your lawyer just talk and stuff. Look, don't get yourself in trouble, but it's a new day. You can't let people just slander your name, whack out your murals. I'm not letting that happen. I went 51 years. I grew up in the hood. I don't been through hell, and I ain't never been in no trouble. And now this? No. So that's why I'm here right now. Now let's get to these let's get to what Shannon and Shakur and all them getting into. Let's go. This is interesting too. This is hilarious. They get into it. All right. Good. Let's start here. I look like DJ Academics now, right? I'm over here. Let's get it right, Wiley. Okay, I want to watch this again. Let's go.
I've been told y'all that I was one of the best fighters in the world. A lot of people ain't believe me. Well, now we here. Opportunity is here. And if any of these guys want to smoke with me, I'm right here. I'm not ducking shit.
But Shakur, you saying that, let me ask you a question. If Jordan had never played and he says I'm the best basketball player, would you have believed it? He had to show you. If LeBron or Shaq or Kobe says I'm the best without showing it, you're not going to believe that.
With you.
We got to.
Now, I'm just telling you, and Shannon knows this because Shannon been on the other end of this before. Like when Skip came at Shannon, like you can see without even him going there, hey, bro, that's kind of disrespectful. Like you trying to say that I haven't shown you that I'm the best or one of the best or deserve that accolade. That feels a certain type of way because I know how Shannon felt when Skip was talking about Tom Brady to him. Remember that? And that didn't feel good. It's like, what? I am Shannon Sharpe. You better recognize and salute. But in the moment of argument or jousting, verbal jousting, you're going to act like that ain't it. And Shakur is, I'm telling you, what got him riled up inside, even though he kept his composure and he was killing it. He was nailing Shannon. What got him going is like, oh, I got to treat you like the enemy right now, even though I love you. Is because you don't understand. You ain't respecting what my gangster look like.
If the writing been on the wall the whole time and I showed it and y'all just ain't.
I can't read.
And then you blind in a motherfucker. You blind in a motherfucker.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, they laughing, but look, that laugh is at your pain. Dog, you imagine you Shakur Stevenson and I know people are doing this. They like, yo. You ain't this. Your style is boring. The whole point of boxing, and Floyd, as y'all know, we've talked, was my neighbor for years, like 4 years. Floyd Mayweather, my neighbor. And dog, the point of boxing is to hit and not to get hit. The point of boxing is not to entertain us with some slugfest, get CTE and get punch drunk and say, boy, I'm a killer. I ain't scared of nobody. That ain't the point of boxing. Like the sweet science, you get in there and you trying to inflict pain, inflict danger. Like you trying to give it all and take none of it. And when you see somebody like Floyd, you see somebody like Shakur, those great defensemen, but also great counter punchers. Man, come on now. Like, how are we going to lose sight of what they trying to do? Would you want to go in there and just slug it out and get hit back? Come on now.
Teofimo was an example. I made an example out of him, and these guys are going to get examples made out of them too.
I'm not saying that you're not a great fighter, that you're not a champion. I'm not saying that. But I think people won't, and you do a great job of hitting and not getting hit.
The point of boxing. So you do a great job of the exact reason there's a sport called boxing. right? It's not a what is that? The Dana White slap fest. This ain't I hit you and you get to hit me. No, you got to. We're on offense and defense at the same damn time. Think about it. Like in football, you're either on offense or defense, special teams too. Basketball, you're on offense or defense. In boxing, at the same damn, at the same time, dog. Interceptions, whatever you want to say, to your face, fumbles to your face. Come on.
But I think sometimes people want to see you put yourself in harm's way and get down. And I'm not saying, look, and that's what you have to do sometimes.
When you step in that ring,
you're gonna have
when
to
you
fight.
step in that ring, you in harm's way. Step in that ring, you in harm's
way. Huh? All right. I don't know if Shannon has ever been in the ring before, but I have. And I've been in there with the warning, with the conversation, with the demand, I am not getting hit. So I used to go to Wild Card Gym. If you guys know boxing, that's Freddie Roach's gym. Shout out to Freddie Roach at the gym. And Manny Pacquiao used to train there. All the top dudes would be in there. I used to train there just to be in shape. I'm retired at this time. We had the same agent, so he hooked it up. Nick Khan, respect to Nick Khan. I'm going in there just to lose weight and stay in shape. So everybody see me coming day one, and the first thing they want to say is, oh, dog, you got to get in there. We got to train you up and get you in there. Oh, you could be a nice heavyweight. Not to really box, but to just be like walking around the street with some hands. I was like, you can train me up, but if it means I got to spar, I'm not doing it. Why? Why? You a punk? Yes, I'm a punk. You want to know why I'm a punk? Because I already spent 10 years getting hit and hitting people, not getting another punch. You're not doing that to me. Talking about, oh, you better duck that. Nope. They gave me the headgear and all that. I said, I'll wear all that. Do not touch me. The only time I ever went in there and said, okay, let's slap box was with this guy we call Triple OG, some 70-year-old old school cat. And he was like, all right, I'm going to touch you up just to let you know if I was really going at it, you would feel it. But I want you to defend yourself and you can hit me. He's like, hit me, but I'm just going to go. I'm like, I'll take that all day. He's 70 years old. He's 70 years old and I'm in here and I can't get hit. Let's go. When I tell you, I felt like I was fighting Bruce Lee in that thing. He doing this. He's like, I'm like, Shannon laughed at. He said, "When you get in that ring, you ain't in harm's way." Are you kidding me? You shit.
I disagree with that.
That's because you never put on the boxing gloves in your life.
Okay, go ahead.
If you put on the boxing gloves before, you'll understand that when you step in that motherfucking square circle, you in harm's way. And when you go watch my last fight, since you saying I don't put myself in harm's way, who was backing up, me or T.O.?
I'm going back to old ESPN. Old ESPN used to be when you show up. What sport did you play? Shannon? Football? Okay, go to NFL Live. That's it. Hide away. Don't talk. Sports Center here and there, NFL Live. Oh, no. We're not going to throw you in anything that's going to talk about basketball. We're not going to talk about any other sport but the sport you played. This right here took me back to that era when they were like, do you know other sports? And I know Shannon does. It's just like, I don't know what happened, a brain fart. Like he's losing his general respect for sports just to be like, I'm going to win this argument, or because he already been nailing Shakur Stevenson in terms of you are a boring fighter and people don't like you and casuals don't think you're entertaining. Okay, that's all can be true, but don't lose the respect because you don't like. Don't lose the respect, bro, because you don't like.
But you back him up.
Who was backing up?
You backed him up.
So I wasn't in harm's way.
Hey, you said you was gonna do that too.
I asked the question. How wasn't I in harm's way?
Ooh.
You weren't, but when I
oh my God. Man, come on now.
Answer the question.
I never thought you could. I didn't think you could lose to Teofimo.
That's
now,
not you.
If you back up Tank, you back up Haney, you back up those guys, I'm gonna come on here and say, Ocho, he proved me to be a liar. Yeah. I said he wasn't gonna be able to do X, Y, and Z.
You would have never bet no money that I was gonna beat Teofimo the way that I beat him.
Yes, I would have.
The way that I beat him, no, you wouldn't.
Are you are you trying to be when they talk about lightweights and super lightweights and junior welterweights, are you trying to be in that Sugar
I'm not
Ray,
comparing myself
Floyd
to none of
Mayweather,
these
Tommy
dudes. I'm
Hearns?
trying to be the first Shakur Stevenson. You going at the end of
Well,
my career?
I don't believe
You going to say
they'll rank you like that.
you going to say why was
style.
his fight so easy? Why wasn't he hurt? Because I'm that great.
That's the part that I don't understand why the general public does not respect. Why doesn't the general public respect that I went in there the same way I came out and I can go out tonight? I can hit the club right now. Look at me. Like, why are we not giving that more credit than the guy with the 2 black eyes who went down in the slugfest and he could film another Rocky movie? I don't get
That's what you want to say.
We're not saying that you're not great, Shakur, but I don't believe, and this is me. This is my opinion. Joe has his opinion. Ocho believes you hung the moon. I don't believe that you're going to get the credit you deserve without knocking people out.
That's why you never boxed before.
That's not boxing.
That's how I know you never boxed before. Floyd Mayweather, you could talk about Floyd Mayweather. You can say the guys that he knocked out, but in the tail end of his prime, he wasn't just knocking guys out. This is not true.
No, because his hands got brittle.
Exactly. I got hand problems too. What's the difference?
In this moment, new information has been presented. Like Shakur is like, dog, you talking about? Like now Shakur is getting frustrated because he's like, do you even know the sport, or more importantly, my contributions to the sport or the things I'm dealing with in the sport? Because you're not making it any better having this type of response and reaction. I understand. I hope you're not standing on business, but let me school you. Let me hip you. Like, it's almost like if Shakur was like, man, tight ends don't be doing nothing. They catch like 3 balls a game, 5 balls a game. What y'all be doing? Not respecting that they got a block. They got to block a DN who's getting paid now $30, $40 million to go get your quarterback. And he got to do that more and then run routes and then catch the ball. And then if you ain't giving respect to all that, I feel where Shakur coming from.
Well, I didn't know that. My bad.
Everybody know that. That's why you ain't been doing your homework. You got to do your homework.
But you can't say just because I don't like your style that I don't know
No,
boxing.
you don't.
I grew up in an era where Sugar Ray was knocking people out.
You just told me that I don't put myself in harm's way by getting in the ring. That's what you told me. That let me know that you don't do your homework.
But you talk about one fight. You talk about Teofimo.
Any fight.
What about all the other fights? I'm not.
Any
hold on.
fight.
Am I the only one said that about you?
Right.
Okay, y'all got to catch this. This is the game. All right. So he proved that he's always in harm's way. He had to prove it to Shannon by saying, I backed him back. I backed him up. Teofimo. I backed him up. But his initial point wasn't even that. He said, as soon as you get in the ring, you in harm's way. And you see how they moved the goalposts on him? Now he arguing, do you do this every fight? Yes, every fight I get into the ring. You see, we started off on the ring. That wasn't good enough. So now I got to show you I'm backing people up. But the harm's way as soon as I get there, right? The harm's way is when I'm in the jungle, not when all of a sudden I see the tiger, I see the lion, and I actually go and try to back them up, or we engaging. No. I'm in the jungle. It's crazy.
One thing. Am I the only one that's ever said that about your fighting style? Yes or no?
A lot of people that don't know boxing say that.
No. Am I the only one?
Use a public opinion for casuals.
No.
Are you the only casual that said this? No, you are not.
Okay, now we have deduced and reduced to the point where it's like, all right, have I said what other people who don't know the sport or don't respect you have said? Are we saying the same thing? That's not a place you want to be, right? Like, am I echoing what everybody else is saying that is BS?
Are you the only casual that said this? No, you are not.
Let me ask you a question. So no other fighter has said that about your fighting style, that they're not happy with your fighting style.
Fighters praise my fighting style. You know what I mean? Fighters wish they could fight like me.
I know. You know what's crazy? Because Shannon was so revolutionary. He wasn't the first, but he was the biggest and the baddest to do it, which has become a catching tight end. And Shannon can talk to this better than anybody. There's resistance to all of these changes. Every time there's a new way of doing stuff, like when he was doing it, like, oh, why would I want a receiving tight end? I just go get a receiver. Or I get a tight end. Like, what you gonna do as a hybrid? Jason Taylor had to deal with this as being a tall, lean, lanky, kind of like DN. Is he a DN? Is he a linebacker? Or like, well, I don't need nobody. Like, I need him to play the run or play the pass. I don't need you to be like a tweener. He's too light to play the run, right? And then you look back at Shannon. You look back at Jason Taylor. All the hybrids that I know. Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk. Man, look. Early Marshall Faulk, and they trade Marshall Faulk because they like all these, like, when they don't know how to you don't know where to put it, so you put it in the worst place. That's what I think happened to Shakur. People like Floyd Mayweather, etc. We don't know what to say about these boxers who go in there and come out clean, so we don't say the good stuff.
Hold on. Can I talk? You know how many people go home wait, gotta go to the doctor, gotta go get their brain checked out, they wish they could do what I do. They pray, like, I wish I had them skills. If I had them skills, they will go home to their family safely. You know, people don't go to their family safely, huh?
He couldn't say it better. In boxing, first of all, we all know boxing is the lowest rung in terms of sports, right? You fall down to boxing. Unless you raised in it, born and raised in it, like, very few, if anybody, is raising their hand to be a boxer, right? At the top, to me, the top of the athletic pyramid is basketball. Everybody, if they can, will be in the NBA. But then you're like, you playing basketball, you good, you may be great, but you ain't good enough. So then basketball's like, get out the way. So then football shows up and baseball shows up, you know? And then if that ain't going well, you know, soccer, it depends on where you are. Obviously, outside America is higher. But then it's like, oh, that ain't working. Let's go to track. Start playing track. You start running track. And then track, the same thing. You run 100. You can't run it. You're getting smoked. 200, 400. Hey, how you become a mile runner? How you become a 3,200? You know, you running 2 miles. How you run a steeplechase? How you start doing field events? Because you can't win 100. All this stuff is like this. It just goes in order. And boxing is at the bottom. At the bottom, if you got the skills where you can actually go in there, beat somebody up, win, tap them up, tag them up, and come out and don't get touched, at the bottom, man, you next level.
So no boxer, no guy that's ever fought has said anything that I've said about your fighting style.
You asking a subjective question. I can't tell you. I'm telling you that. You sound like a cat.
Subjective. Why are you getting so
I'm
upset
not getting
with
upset
me?
with you.
My opinion.
We debating. We having a good debate.
Oh,
I called you unk 100 times. That mean I look at you like an unk, right? So I got respect for you.
I got respect.
Ooh, he almost took that bait too. He's like, "What are you talking about?" Because like, oh, you get mad at me? I ain't mad at you. I'm giving you respect. I'm mad at your point. Man, I love this. Shakur is gonna be. If this is Shakur all the time in interviews, his future, once he done with boxing, even though he just signed with Zuffa, so he ain't close to done. He is it. This dude is sharp. I mean, he getting to the point. He respectfully disagreeing. Oh, he next level. I love this dude.
But I don't got respect for you not doing your homework. I don't got respect for that. Do your homework and stop getting X.
I can't believe I just saw that. That was insane. Oh, love, man. Oh, my God. Look, in all seriousness, I mean, look, we have theater all the time on shows, so no harm, no foul. Got to put a little respect on Shakur and what he's doing in his fighting style, even though it's not the one you like. I didn't say like it. I said respect it. And when you respect it, you just give it his room to do what it do. I see his fights. I like it. I actually, because I enjoy seeing someone be right in front of you. You imagine somebody right in front of you in a phone booth and you say swing and they miss. And you say keep swinging and they keep missing. And then you go, wow, you go, and you go, bah. Come on, man. If y'all don't think that's insane, what is good if that ain't insane? And that's, I mean, I knew this from back in the Floyd days. And then I've seen it obviously now with Shakur. It's just next level stuff. So put some respect on that man's name. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think as we make these super awkward transitions because we all know what's going on in the headlines. And we also know that I had to address the affidavit, and I also had to address the divorce. And now all that's behind me. I could get back to doing normal stuff, normal shows, and doing what we do. And I also have some good news about On the Rocks. We kicked it last night. Everybody chopped it up, and it looks like things are full steam ahead for us to reunite. And what a time to reunite with the boys and the fellas, because off mic, off camera yesterday, they were killing me. Them jokes were coming. Oh, man, they were cracking me up. They had a lot to say. So you know how they do. We'll see. They were going in. So shout out to my dogs. 1 second. Let me plug this thing on in. I'm in that zone. Look at me. You're like, damn, Wiley, you ghetto as hell. All right, here we go. I got to plug this computer in. 1 second. One time. All right. I hope it's working now. Tell him about one time. All right. If I were y'all, I'll be joking right now. Damn, she done took the plug too, cuz. Oh my God. Love, love, love. Okay, good, good, good. All plugged up now. All plugged up. But now, what time is it? 6:10? That's an hour's worth. Yeah, I'm not in fighting shape. I gotta get back to it. Hold on. I'm gonna save this one because I know I ain't gonna put this out today. So why am I gonna do it today? All right. You know what I want to do, because we do rock together. We're gonna do a little Q&A real quick and we out of here. I'm gonna answer all the questions I can so that, I feel like we in a family and everybody trying to act like, yo, don't act like we ain't all thinking something. So let's just go there, right? So I want to do that. All right. I'll do a little Q&A, and then 6:15, we're going to dip set. All right, here we go. A lot of the questions about the financial part. Good, let's talk about it. Who says this? Keena says, how did you mismanage your finances so bad after making all that millions, Wiley? Who said I mismanaged my finances? I don't know how many people are now here for the first time because they like, oh, scandal, so I'm gonna show up. But people don't even know, like, debt. There's good debt. One, you got to know about good debt. Two, you don't know. No one knows how much money someone has. Like, don't go on networth.com and think you know how much money you have. I remember when I was making money that was publicly reported in the NFL, and they had those websites, and I was like, what? This is all wrong, for whether it was too high or too low. I've heard Jay-Z and people say, like, oh, I don't mean no bit. He's like, I ain't got that. Or LeBron just said it recently, like, I ain't doing that. Whatever is true or false, you don't know that. But I know that bank, and obviously that's a report out there. I just want you guys to know that, once again, there's good debt and there's bad debt. And you got to let this story play itself out before you can understand what good debt means. And in a community property state, that's not my debt. That's our debt. Y'all got to understand how this game goes. So I haven't mismanaged my finances. The day before all this happened, were you saying that? No. The day before all that happened, were you seeing me hanging and living? And I know, I saw one guy say, man, you should have seen how much he wrote down what he makes. What he makes on some report. Yeah. Yeah. This is divorce season. Yeah. Like, y'all got to pick up stuff. So whatever. People don't get it. I understand that. What else y'all asking me? But no mismanagement. Maybe you misunderstanding, and I understand you don't understand, and I would love to elaborate, and I will in due time. One thing you got to know about me in this show, and I'm not doing it for fake, for real. People used to always say, Marcellus, you're the same dude in front of the camera that you are off. I'm like, yeah, because what kind of job is it if you got to be something else to do it? And I know people got to do that. They got to put on a different persona to work. I'm going to be me. And this is me. This is me. I'm right in front of you. I'm living. And that's why I think people don't understand. So now, don't act like you found out a new version of me. I'm 51. I'm 51. I ain't even got a jaywalking ticket. Like, come on, y'all, stop playing with me. Like, I'm 51. And the only bad things that you can say about me are a she say, some she says, and some more she says. Can you give me one more thing, anybody? I'll wait. I'll wait. So I stand with the confidence that can be misread. I stand with the power that's, you know me, I'm a believer. So like, this too shall pass. When I was young, something bad happened, I would want to produce to the world how bad it felt. I'm not a kid anymore. We were talking about this last night. This is why On the Rocks is coming back, and this is why On the Rocks is a special show. Because it's really my friends, not my best friends. My best friends they ain't good on the mic. So it's like my second tier friends. See, that was a joke. These are my dogs. But the real of it is, they were like, man, I was checking in on you and I thought something, I felt something I didn't know, I didn't say. And I said, oh, y'all some suckers. Because one, I'm always going to have something that's not perfect going on with me, like you. There's always going to be a bucket of, this is some BS I'm dealing with. So I was like, unless you're going to ever eliminate that and make me have a perfect life, there's always going to be something to check in on me for. So check in. And then when you do check in, tell the truth. People are like, oh man, I saw this video and I heard this. And I was like, all right, hit me. Like, but I don't know how you're going to react. I don't know how people will react when they see this. I was like, dog, who are you talking to? So y'all don't know my grandma who passed away, Grandma Blackie. A lot of people have heard me reference her. She was not a character. She was a real person, but the realest person ever. I was raised by the realest people ever. 3 women exactly, if you want to really keep it. My dad is the most principle-based person ever. My daddy's straight down the middle, principle. But my grandmother was gangster. When I say no BS, none. My mother and my sister, OG Hennyloke. So that's what I'm raised by, y'all. If y'all don't get it, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna never make you understand it. But I ain't gonna change me. So I'm not gonna walk around here right now like, oh my God. First of all, I don't want your sympathy. I want your support. I don't want your sympathy. I want your support. I want you to still rock with me. I don't want somebody to just wake up one day and say, you know what I heard about Marcellus? And then all of a sudden you'd be like, yeah, I don't know Marcellus. I don't like him. I don't watch him. Just because they said something. You'd be like, no, prove it. I'm not saying nothing. Prove it. That's me. If I knew you personally and somebody said something about you, I'm like, oh, okay. First thing I'm gonna do is call him up and be like, dog, dude told me this, if it matters. I'm like, dude told me this. And I'm not even asking you to prove it right or wrong, because I'm like, people tell me stuff all the time, and I just be like, all right, move on. More questions. Thank you, I love it. It was written. Raymond Houston is like, it was written. Damn right. Dog, you get this far and then all of a sudden you're gonna let somebody, God didn't bring me this far to drop me off right here. I know that. A lot of people are talking about how this could be a movement. This could be a movement. You know what? There are a lot of people who've reached out. Some big time people too. I got to get through this first. But gigantic time people who want to bring me on, who want to talk about this and potentially partner. Depends on how it turns out, right? What if it all crashes in on me? Then they're like, oh, well, there that go. But no, in all seriousness, they're like, yo, because you are taking this head on, and right now it's some BS. Like, or it needs to be proven to be true. But if you prove it to be false, Marcellus, oh my God. They're like, there's this movement of people who have been lied on. Have you ever been lied on? Yes or no? Come on, be real. People who have been falsely accused, forget lying, taken to jail, and they were like, what? There have been people who have rotted away in jail and prison and then came out and they're like, oops. We all know those cases. So a lot of people are like, trust me, I did not raise my hand to be in this position. Trust me, I'd much rather be the guy that everyone likes and no one says anything bad about. I was built for none of this smoke. But I was also built to deal with the smoke. You get it? It's kind of like Compton. Like, I wasn't built to gang bang. I wasn't built to be outside in the streets and riding around the El Camino. Like, what's up, cuz? I wasn't that. But I was built to be around that and not be fazed by it. You get it? And it feels like literally I'm in that same position right now where all this stuff is coming at me. You trying to bang on me and trying to go and get me. What's up? I said you did this. 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 I'm like, you said what? Well, stop talking and start showing me. Prove it. But we don't live in that world anymore. We don't live in that world where you got to walk that talk. We live in a world where you could talk that talk. Do you know that a lot of people have been sued? A lot of people have been sued. A lot of people have been pressured, extorted, whatever you want to go, whatever level, off of BS, but they know that they don't want that BS attached to their name. I wasn't afforded that luxury with the Columbia situation because Columbia's involved. You think I got $5 or I owe $500,000? See, another good joke. Whatever you may think, Columbia. So look, that's what that is. This situation, people can say anything. All I'm saying is let's just, if you gotta wait for her to prove it, I'm waiting too. All things, I'm waiting for everybody to prove what they're saying. That's all. You know, it's almost like pregame in football. In football, in the beginning of the game, every single NFL game I go to now as a season ticket holder, go Chargers. Every single game I played in before the game, everybody is great. They're doing all them hand works, running the ball. Look, that work in like Pop Warner, maybe a little high school. Then you start to realize, stop, man. You know, they had the pregame, they had midfield. Doing. Who's good on their team? Number 7, number 23, number 66. The rest of them dudes just out there for theater. They just dancing. I feel like that right now. I feel like a lot of people just talking. Who really got something to say? Who really got something to prove? Oh, everybody went to the locker room then. See what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get discouraged, y'all. Not going to get discouraged. We got to do that. We're going to do that Conor McGregor. We're going to do that Conor McGregor probably tomorrow, this for sure. We got to get it in. All right, love for you guys. I see these questions are kind of the same, or some of them I can't answer right now. I got to get into it. Tomorrow we'll be back at it. I guess 5 in the morning. Get back on schedule. So love for all you guys for all rocking with me. Remember, I love y'all for rocking with me. I love y'all for rolling with me. I love y'all for hating on me. I love y'all for loving me. It's all good. But I do know one thing. There's 3 sides to every story, and I'm going to tell you 2 of them every time. Love for y'all. Have a great day. I know I will.